What's going on, everybody? This is Muttwolf. It's been just a few days since our first look at Halo Infinite's gameplay, and rather than make another breakdown video like I've seen many do, I wanted to make a video covering something that I haven't seen covered as much around the YouTube community. When War Chief Escharum, our new villain added to the Halo universe, was talking to the Master Chief at the end of the gameplay reveal, he talked about a certain term called a Harbinger, which many were confused as to what that actually referred to. Now, initially, I had thought that the Harbinger was referring to Cortana and the Created working together with the Banished, but in the past few days, I've actually seen some news articles and different things that have led me to believe that that is not the case, actually. Now, let's start by talking about what a Harbinger actually is. If you do a quick Google search, it returns you with two definitions. You have a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another, or more importantly, a forerunner of something. Now, of course, the forerunners are very important within the Halo universe, as they and their creations are part of what made the Halo array, but there were some other things that I saw looking back at a Halo 5 Guardians screenshot, which shows a death message saying that you eliminated a Harbinger when you defeated a Promethean boss. There was also another example in Halo 5 of this Harbinger term, and it was actually an achievement that you got if you beat the second to last mission of the game, the Breaking, on Legendary difficulty. Many regard this to be one of the hardest achievements to get in the game, because it is the mission to where you have the 3 wardens on Legendary. So what does all of this actually mean? Well, to me, at this point, it had meant nothing. I had still thought it was going to lead back to just being Cortana and the Created, and the Forerunners were just going to refer to the Prometheans coming back. But I saw a Games Radar article yesterday that actually has started to make me question that. The particular thing that stood out to me in this Games Radar article was a quote from the later end of it saying, "Chief will need to utilize everything that he can to get his hands on to fight off against the Banished and the larger looming threat of the mysterious Harbinger." Now wait, that's confusing, isn't it? I mean, all the trailers have shown it so far to tease the Banished as the main villain, and War Chief Escharum leading them. But now with this, it makes you wonder if that's really the case. I don't think this would refer to Cortana and the Created, because honestly, by the time that the Halo book Shadows of Reach happens, Cortana still has not knocked out the UNSC Infinity. And realistically, can you call her a larger looming threat if she hasn't even done that yet? Another thing that makes me think that it's not Cortana was a IGN article that came out alongside the trailers last Thursday that said, Halo Infinite takes place well after the ending of Halo 5, with a rampant Cortana nowhere in sight and the Master Chief adrift in space. Now, I don't know about you, but it seems kind of hard to believe that Cortana would be working with the Banished if the story article literally says she is nowhere to be found at the moment. So now with all this information taken into account, I'd like to tell you what I personally think that the Harbinger in Halo Infinite actually is. I would definitely preface this by saying that this is an outlandish claim, and honestly, it could go either way, but I actually believe that the Harbinger will signal the return of the Didact to the Halo universe. I think that a lot of the things that I've pointed out in this video are actually good signs towards this being a reality. I believe that a Harbinger being a forerunner of something actually is probably the best tease that we could have gotten. I think that the Harbinger definition back in Halo 5, the achievement, and the boss was just yet another teaser. And lastly, the mentioning of the Harbinger as a larger looming threat than even the Banished who took down the UNSC has started to make me think that this can't just be some new character or new faction. This has got to be the return of the Didact. I've seen plenty of concept art from Halo 5 that was scrapped that showed that the Didact was actually supposed to return in Halo 5, but I now think that they chose to scrap him out of Halo 5 so they could bring him back into Halo Infinite. Heck, 343 has even teased in the past that the Didact would return at some point. I personally would love for the Didact to return, as I feel that even though there were some missteps in Halo 4, I absolutely loved his character and thought he was very well written, and if he returned to the Halo universe in Infinite, I would be very excited to play this game. Anyways, that's enough for my speculation, and this has been my video as to why I believe that the Harbinger in Halo Infinite is actually the return of the Didact to the Halo universe. If any of you enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. This has been Muttwolf, and I am signing out.